Hello, everyone, and good Monday, and thanks for being here in the blink of an eye. Starting off another week here at Your News Today. We're doing so under spring-like conditions, summer-like, dare I say, temperatures flirting with, and I believe aimed right at the 80-degree mark this week. Record warmth in the next couple of days, rainfall throughout the next several thereafter. We're talking about anywhere from 2 to 3 inches, maybe even more, of total rainfall. Multiple rounds of rain are headed our way. Not starting tomorrow, though. Another beautiful day in the neighborhood, mostly sunny and 80 degrees. That will be the end of the dry weather. The warm air will linger, and it's going to be flooding issues that we'll be talking about. We'll be talking about tonight two very important topics. I've got one main headline for you before I'm out the door to try to catch the end of the first game. Of course, the 57th District Tournament starts tonight. We're so excited. The girls play tonight. Girls game 1, 6:30, Central and Magafa County. I'm going to try to wrap it up early, at least so I can catch the end of that game. And of course, Paintsville ladies and Sheldon Clark's ladies face off in game 2 at 8:15. The girls championship is Thursday at 7. Boys will play one game Tuesday. That's Paintsville and Magafa. One game Wednesday, Johnson Central and Sheldon Clark. And then their championship will be Friday. All games after tonight set for 7 o'clock. So that's where I'm off to. We have a great deal. I say this every day, see, and that's always the case, but we've got a new board. We're keeping a list of stories that are coming up here in the Independent, and we have a significant list of stories, some good news that we're working on, and we're going to try to have a very special interest story for you each and every week in addition to all the other news that we're covering already. And we've got a long list of things that we'll start covering tomorrow. I've been asked to follow up on a few things that have been taking place in our county in regards to some road issues and other things that we all have on our radar, and we'll be picking up on that and covering district tournament action and covering everything else as well beginning tomorrow night. With that said, I'm going to go through this as best as I can. I hate to do this in such a rushed fashion when I'm trying to make it to the ball game, but there's a point to be made here, a serious point to everyone out there, parents, grandparents, everyone. Police say that a 15-year-old girl threatened to bring a bomb to school and blow up the Jackson County High School today. No explosives were found. However, that teen has been arrested and taken to the Breathitt County Detention Center. A 13-year-old boy is in custody and is facing serious charges. He threatened violence at the Clay County Middle School, where the state police say they responded early yesterday to a social media post saying that the boy had planned to bring a gun to school today. He is also in the Breathitt County Juvenile Detention Center at this time. He's charged thus far with second-degree terroristic threatening. In another county, a 14-year-old is in a detention center for threatening to shoot up the North Laurel Middle School. He reportedly messaged another student, and that is where it got out. Police say that teen is also in the Big Sandy in the Breathitt County, Juvenile Detention Center, a charge of second-degree terroristic threatening. I'm not done. In Jessamine County, two teenagers have been arrested at this hour after online threats were made over the weekend. An 18-year-old and a 19-year-old facing terroristic threatening charges. In Whitley County, a 17-year-old making threats towards the school system. In Knox County, I'm not done. 3 people arrested for making threats on social media. 2 girls, ages 16 and 13, making threats to try to get school canceled, of all things. A Corbin woman, a 19-year-old, also arrested in that investigation. Estill County, Fleming County High School. The list goes on. Folks, we're talking about over the weekend and in the past few days, and this on the heels, of course, of the shootings that we have seen in parts of our nation and in Kentucky as of late. A staggering number. I don't even think that I have all in. The state police have actually already issued a public statement saying that they want to be very clear. Any and all threats toward any school will not be tolerated and fully investigated and prosecuted. There are no jokes or anything of that nature to be made when speaking of something of this nature that by their public affairs department at this time. Over half a dozen in just the past few days. Many of them not legitimate or significant, and maybe someone reaching out for attention, what have you. Some were found to be significant, I believe. Nevertheless, it is upon us, it is upon students, our children, as parents, to make sure we follow up on our children. We might think they're angels, and they're certainly not immune to that. We are also relying on our children to be knowledgeable and tell him to come forward any and every time that they hear of anything or suspect anything. They should and could be wrong a million times over, and nothing will make me more proud than for my child to be wrong about something that a million times, but to have come forward nonetheless of any information that may or may not be accurate. But if it's out there, folks, we just need to know. We need to encourage our students and our children to be sure to stay on the look, and we as parents need to follow suit as well. With that said, speaking of suits, not an intended segue, but nevertheless, Attorney General Andy Beshear today filed a lawsuit against one of the nation's leading opioid distributors for its role in fueling the state's opioid epidemic by funneling, he says, massive amounts of prescription opioids into Kentucky communities. It's his third opioid lawsuit to date, and in it, Beshear is suing Ohio-based Cardinal Health over unfair, misleading, and deceptive business practices for excessively distributing opioids, particularly in rural counties in eastern Kentucky, and for failing to report the suspiciously large volume of these drugs to state and federal authorities. I've got some numbers for you. They're going to be staggering. Beshear filed suit on January the 22nd against another opioid distributor, San Francisco-based McKesson Corporation, for similar claims. Beshear filed his first lawsuit in November of last year against Endo Pharmaceuticals and Endo Health Solutions for violating state law and directly contributing to state opioid-related deaths and overdoses from its drug Opana. He says he's committed to hauling each of these opioid companies into a Kentucky court to answer for their actions that have devastated our families, communities, and state. The authority to hold these companies accountable for both their damages to our state and our people lies with the Attorney General, and he says he plans to use his authority to seek justice for Kentucky families. So along with those companies, they distribute 85%, those three companies that he's filed suit, they distribute 85% of the nation's drugs. According to Cardinal Health's second quarter results for the fiscal year 2018, revenue for its pharmaceutical segment increased 5% to over $31 billion just for the quarter due to sales growth from pharmaceutical and specialty distribution customers. He goes on in the suit, and it also discusses how some eastern Kentucky counties are hit the hardest, and you'll certainly, I think, take heed to this. Beshear's lawsuit filed in Jefferson Circuit Court alleges Cardinal Health reaped a windfall off the wave of addiction in Kentucky by choosing profits over people while abrogating its duty to report suspiciously large orders of controlled substances, including opioids, to state and federal law enforcement, as is required by federal and state law. He says Cardinal Health has admitted to failing to meet its reporting duties in the past. For example, back in 2016, he says the company reached a nationwide $44 million settlement for failure to detect and report suspicious orders of controlled substances. Okay, from February the 1st of 2016 through January the 31st of 2017, Kentucky pharmacies filled 307 million doses of opioids, which breaks down to 69 doses for every man, woman, and child in the state of Kentucky. Pursuant to its market share, Cardinal Health distributed 63.6 million of those doses of prescription opioids. Can anybody make any sense of that? I can't. From January the 1st through 2010 through December the 31st, 2016, Cardinal Health distributed 1,186,000 doses of prescription opioids in Jefferson County alone. Beshear said that Cardinal Health carelessly flooded other Kentucky counties, Jefferson County is a big county, in Floyd County. Based upon its market share, Cardinal Health distributed approximately 11,669,000 doses of prescription opioids. Based on Floyd County's average population, that's 302 doses for every man, woman, and child. I think he made his point, and I think I've made mine as well. Simply staggering. I'll be right back. Our top headline is next. They're rolling out big, beautiful truck bodies every day, the best America makes in steel and aluminum, with their largest ever local stock of angle, sheet, round, I-beam, expanded, steel, and aluminum in several different finishes for whatever you're working on. And if the dump body you're driving needs parts, they've got them in stock. And if you need a big project fabricated from scratch, they've got you covered at Logan in Salyersville since 1904. A new inventory perfect for the season at Parkway Gun and Pawn. Gas and electric space heaters, chainsaws to make your own heat, battery chargers, generators, snow blowers, and everything you need for the winter. And of course, jewelry, guns, games, TVs, electronics, and more. And of course, they'll loan you cash on anything worth $1 at Parkway Gun and Pawn. 349 Pawn.
My dad, Philip Chubb Allen, was an appliance repairman who many of you knew. He instilled in me the values of honesty and integrity and to always keep your word. I'm running for change. I'm running for a brighter future for our children. I'm asking for your help. This election is one of the most important in our history. No matter which part of the county you're from, I'm your candidate. Let all of our citizens' voices be heard from every holler and every hilltop and every corner of our beautiful home. My name is Big Tony Allen, and I want to be your Magoffin County Court Clerk.
Drive safe and save. Regardless of what Mother Nature has in store, make sure your family is protected. Get a new set of tires. Get rid of those old, worn out, and used ones today. Pay for it as you go. With 6 months, same as cash. Get the latest in manufacturer rebates and over 30 years of service to the community. Conley Tire in Staffordsville. Your best solution for diesel performance, upgrades, service, and repair is also a full-service repair center for all vehicles, gas or diesel, from routine service to major repairs, with a trusted auto body shop for minor dings to full-on restorations and rebuilds. Plus, get all your 4x4 accessories, lights, bumpers, winches, and more at Black Smoke Performance in Dixie of Sagersville. 349-8785.
Hi, I'm Bill Mead, and I've dedicated over half of my life to law enforcement and protecting my community and family. In my 29 years of service, I've received several federal commendations for my part in major drug cases. I have 17 years experience in narcotics investigations. 10 of those years as a sergeant with the Kentucky State Police Drug Enforcement Special Investigations East Unit. I've received the highest level of training in criminal investigations, and I know exactly what it takes to successfully see a criminal case through the state and federal court systems. As your Magoffin County Sheriff, I will review every investigation and ensure that you're treated with respect and dignity. My name is William Bill Mead, number 3 on the ballot, but number 1 for Magoffin County. Thank you.
Get the max with your taxes and a new car at Gateway Motors. All you have to do is take your W-2 to Borders Tax Services here in Sagersville and then go straight to buy your new ride at Gateway. You'll get your taxes done right, on time, and with the maximum refund, and you can drive your new vehicle today and pay for it when you get your tax return back from Uncle Sam. So call now to get the max for your taxes at Gateway Motors in Sagersville. 349 cars. So as I referred to at the top of the program, 2 games tonight in the 57th District Tournament, the only night with 2 games, so I'm going to get out of here as quickly as possible. A lot of news to cover and a lot of exclusive news to see here and read here this week that we'll begin with tomorrow. But it doesn't mean I don't have some good news to pass along to you tonight, and some of the upcoming news, also good news, glad to say. But right now, some sporting news. And I just got a long list of some really good news to share, but I don't want the cat out of the bag, so we'll just start with one tonight. Another big win. I so love doing these reports. Another big win for a local racing team, the Conley Racing Team, this weekend at the Lights Out event in Cecil, Georgia. And, of course, we've got some highlights and some interviews to go along with it. I caught up with Martin and his son as they were unloading the car that is obviously orange here and in real life, but looks red in every picture and video that I see of it. Nevertheless, I caught them back here in Sagersville on the Conley farm as they were unloading today after a week at the track. Now, this weekend, Martin was behind the wheel of a teammate's car when he won the cash, and as is shown in the video in just a second by John Martin, the trophy sword and the all-important and coveted trophy hat.
This car does not belong to me. It belongs to Eddie and Maggie McCarty. They live in Sayersville. Most everybody probably knows them. Me and Eddie's raced this car together for 3 or 4 years. Built it in 2015, and we've been racing it somewhat local, on a local level. So this over the winter and the last year, they've talked about doing a class, limited, lower, more as entry level as heads up racing gets, to try and limit the money. And so they made this class called DXP 235, which is a 235 60 15-inch tire, and that's what we got to run on. It's a little bitty tire, 8.5 by 26 inches tall, And so they had this, the first race they had for DXP 235 ever, and they had it in Georgia at the South Georgia Motorsports Park, lights out.
This is the 9th year for this series in Georgia. This is the first race of the 235 series that's going to be held across the nation this year in several different locations. And it's a 235, a class, again, as Martin described. I put some tires on a passenger car just today of a 265 series. They're running on no tire trying to get all that power to the ground, and they're doing it very well. They just got back this morning. They actually got there last Wednesday, tested Wednesday and Thursday. Martin says they had their first qualifying round Thursday night and ran a 5:21 to take the first position for the first qualifying round. The second qualifying round came around and they spun the tires, and he says the third qualifying round came around, and he says they put a little too much power in the car in that third qualifier, and this is what happened.
They tried to spunk it up a little bit. We missed the chassis setup, and we rolled a big wheelie. We pedaled it 7 times in the air, and I got it down without turning up the headers or turning up the car. I mean, you can total one like that. But that put us number 2 on the ladder. We really wanted to be number 1 because it had an easier road to the final, but that's where we fell. And then we went into eliminations on Sunday morning, and we were supposed to go into them on Saturday, but the race is just so big. So, and then through eliminations, we went first round. I don't even remember what we went. I think we went a 5:20 in the first round. Second round, we went 5:16, and the other guy that went number 1, I think he went like a 5:15. And then in the semis, we were both going for lane choice, but he had a bye, so he didn't have a competitor, so he was for sure going on. We had to get by our competitor, and we needed to go faster than him to get lane choice. So we went a 5:14 with an 8. He went a 5:14 with a 9.
5:14 with an 8. I believe that gets lane choice by 1 thou. I'm not mistaken. 134.
1,000th of a second difference. That is just close as their computers get, I guess. And we got lane choice, and we went into the finals in anticipation of a great race, and it was. And we actually slowed down. Had a little problem with the transmission going into high gear. It's only got 2 gears. Smacking into high, it went to neutral basically for a second, I guess is the best way to explain it. I was waiting for him to drive around me, but he didn't.
And Martin Conley coming out of Slayersville, Kentucky. The 1986 Ford Mustang right here, 10 cylinders race car. This is the final, the final, the final.
This is a final round.
The Martin Conley, can he become the first winner ever in DXP 235 history?
The number 1 and 2 qualifiers meeting up here in this final round, which doesn't happen as often as you may think in this sport, so they both waded their way through their own side of the ladder. A Fox Body Mustang and a Chevy Nova.
It was pretty awesome. Martin Conley actually got lane choice by 1,000th of a second in the semifinal, so it's going to be interesting. Will be Martin Conley, Jason Anderson. Wow, somebody got a whole shot. Unbelievable. 019 reaction time goes 5:18 at 136. Jason Anderson left on green. Goes 5:15 at 135. Conley is.
We went a 5:18. He went a 5:15, but I had a 019 light, and he had some trouble when he went on the brake, and so he did have some issues. But I treat him and I won a whole shot in the finals.
Wow, somebody got a whole shot. Unbelievable.
This race was the first of 5 of this series for the entire season. The next one in Maryland in April. Then after, Louisville in July. I'm going to do my best to be there in person. But nevertheless, as always, Martin is proud to go to all of these states and all of these tracks and tell all those folks where he's from, just as he is proud and thankful to have those who continue to support him along the way.
A lot of people put this together. Me and Eddie and my wife is a big part. Eddie's wife supports us. My mom supports us. My Uncle Jeff, and they, got a lot of local guys helping them. Well, it wasn't for a lot of people, we couldn't make this happen. So that is why we get to do this.
We are all human. Because we're not perfect, we tend to make mistakes. Unfortunately, some mistakes are severe and carry more consequences than others. If you have been hurt in a car wreck, a truck wreck, or because of someone's mistake, reckless or careless behavior, you deserve help with your medical expenses, lost wages, and serious permanent pain and injuries that you have been made to suffer and will continue to suffer for the rest of your life. If you have been injured, I can help. I'm attorney Don Wayne McFarland. Call me and let me go to work for you. 349-9000.
The flu has now reached epidemic proportions, and if you aren't or haven't been sick, odds are you will be. And Parkway Pharmacy has exactly what we all need to fight it and any other cold or illness. From immune boosters for adults and children as young as 2 to all-natural homeopathics made right here in the United States of America. They can help prevent you from getting sick or get you fast relief if you already are. With great tasting and easy-taking gummies, powdered mixes, rapid melting fruity tablets, and syrups at Parkway Pharmacy.
Appalachian Wireless is showing the love to customers for the entire month of February. All month long, we've got 50 to 100% off retail pricing on today's hottest smartphones. Samsung GS8 retail price over $700. On sale now for $74.99. Samsung GS8 Plus retail price over $800. On sale now for only $174.99. All smartphones are included. Just another reason to be a part of the region's best network. Better service, bigger savings. That's today's Appalachian Wireless and East Kentucky Network Company. 2-year agreement required. Exclusive Advantage plans while supplies last. See store for details.
To all of her current and future patients, Hope Family Medical Center and Big Sandy Healthcare are proud to announce that pediatrician Dr. Leslie Ann Dotson has joined Big Sandy Healthcare's new Physicians for Women and Families complex in Oxshire, where she's now a part of a team of 3 OBGYNs, 2 family medicine physicians, and their nurse practitioners. That's Physicians for Women and Families, open Monday through Friday at 23 Willow Drive in Oxshire. A part of the Big Sandy Healthcare family. Just like your savings, Hornet basketball is money in the bank. And from everyone at Sagersville National, congratulations and thank you to our Hornets and Lady Hornets for representing us so well this season, and good luck in the 57th District Tournament. Go Hornets!
Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for our seniors that did leave their home floor for the last time here at the
Hi, I'm attorney Jeff Lovely. When hiring an attorney, experience does matter. For over 20 years, I've been representing clients throughout Eastern Kentucky. We are a full-service law firm, representing clients who've been injured in car accidents or at work, representing clients who need to file bankruptcy, representing clients who've been charged with a crime. For all your legal needs, contact my office when it matters. We have 2 locations for your convenience. In Sayersville at 349-4522 and West Liberty at 743-1965.
Going to tonight's McGoffin Farm Bureau-sponsored community calendar. Several things to talk about. Tomorrow's chronic disease workshop. Now, this is the second one. You don't have to go to all, obviously, but for 6 Tuesdays, they began last Tuesday, but 6 Tuesdays in a row now through March the 20th, 2 to 4, the McGoffin County Health Department. The health department has teamed up with the Big Sandy Healthcare family, and they have put together a chronic disease self-management workshop. It's free, and it's aimed at helping you take back your life and live well with chronic conditions like diabetes or COPD or heart disease, high blood pressure, arthritis, and the list goes on. They're going to cover topics like managing symptoms, medication, communicating with healthcare providers, setting goals and solving problems, and healthy eating and managing stress, and so on and so on. If you would like to register, you can call 349-5126. That's at Hope Family Medical Center here in Sagersville. Walk-ins are welcome. You don't have to register. Show up tomorrow from 2 to 4. And I've got a bunch of other calendar announcements that, I'm just checking, that all look like they can wait. Oh, no, I've got one here that I don't have typed in. This from the Water Into Wine Food Pantry. They sent me this notice actually 3 months on it, and I forgot to get it back out. Just in time. Their distribution at the Water Into Wine Food Pantry is tomorrow for their senior day. Their regular day is also this week on Wednesday the 21st. So Water Into Wine distributing at the food pantry tomorrow for seniors, for everyone else on this Wednesday. And funeral announcements brought to you by the McGoffin County Funeral Home, with services first of all to be held tomorrow in honor of 89-year-old Ruth Frances May Estep of Royalton Road, who passed away on the 17th, survived by her husband Elwood, also son Joseph Estep, and daughter Gwendolyn Patrick. Visitation is this evening, and up until services that start tomorrow morning at 11, visitation and services both from the McGoffin County Funeral Home. Burial follows services at the Sam May Cemetery on Mason, once again in honor of 89-year-old Ruth Frances May Estep. Clara Jean Howard, 78, of Old Lick Creek, passed away on the 18th, yesterday's date, survived by her husband James Blackie Howard, and sons Rick and Russell Howard, and daughter Debbie Harvey. Visitation will start after 5 o'clock tomorrow evening. Wednesday's services will start that morning at 11, all from the McGoffin County Funeral Home. Burial afterwards at the Toy and Delphia Howard Cemetery at Lick Creek. And that brings us to our last item of business for this first day of the week, the last week of February. Or is that just now settling in with you? The last week of February. We've only got 3 days in the week. Next week it all runs out on the 28th, which is Wednesday. Nevertheless, it's not going to feel like February at all. We've got 32 degrees, partly cloudy tonight, and that's pretty much summing it up. Okay, could you hear the hesitation in my voice? Listen, I read what's in front of me because it's supposed to be right. No, 52 degrees. I knew there was something wrong, eerily wrong about that. Tonight's low is 52 degrees. I wasn't wearing my glasses when I put it in. They're on now, and this makes much more sense. So partly cloudy, winds out of the southwest at 6 to 8 miles per hour, and 52 degrees for tonight's low. Yeah. That is out and ahead of an 80-degree day tomorrow. I'm thinking mostly sunny, 80 for your Tuesday. Winds still southwesterly, anywhere from 7 to 10 to 17 mile per hour gusts tomorrow. It's going to be a little breezy, a lot sunny, a lot warm. And that's the last of the dry. Wednesday, chances of showers roll in early, and then they increase to a likelihood. Look for even maybe some thunderstorms Wednesday night. Total rainfall amounts, half to an inch on Wednesday, but as the days continue, those numbers will continue to add. We could see 2, 3, maybe more inches of total rainfall throughout the next several days. It all starts Wednesday and rolls right on. And sadly, I do mean rolls right on. Thursday, clouds, showers, 59. Not much of a swing temperature-wise. 59 for your high, 52 for your low, but clouds, showers. Back to the 70s on Friday, clouds, showers. 50s across the board for nighttime lows. Daytime highs will take a swing back and forth. Saturday, 68, clouds, showers. Sunday, mostly cloudy. Shower chances start to back off just a bit finally, with daytime highs still in the mid-60s. But all in all, after tomorrow, it's all downhill. Still warm, but definitely wet, and definitely could add up. That's going to do it for tonight. I'm off to Johnson Central. It's going to be a warm one over there in the gym tonight. I'm already preparing myself for it, and certainly tomorrow evening as well, with temperatures into the 80s and what I suspect will be a full house for the 57th District Tournament. If you're going to make it or if you're not, doesn't matter. You can still catch highlights either way, and we see you back here tomorrow night. For now, enjoy the rest of your very spring-like Monday, and we'll see you back here tomorrow night.